Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Jackie. I'm a paparazzi independent consultant. Right now, at this moment, I am not selling jewelry at this moment, but I just wanted to come on live and come into the room and just talk to the people. Just talk to the people because I seen, of course, as an entrepreneur, you always work on personal development. So there was an article that I was reading that really inspired me to come on and just talk to you guys. So a little bit about my story and myself and how I got started. I started in April 2019. April 2019, I was terminated from my job. And when I was terminated, it wasn't something that was expected. It was completely unexpected. I went to work one day, and that was it. I was there for a couple hours. I think I worked maybe about 4 or 5 hours, and that's it. They called me in the office, and it was my last day. At that moment and at that point in that job, I had been there for 10 years. So that was something that I thought that I was going to make a career out of. I thought that I was going to do 20 years in Walmart because that's where I was working. But God had other plans for me. I really didn't have any idea what I was going to do. Hey, Mika, what's up? I didn't have any idea what I was going to do. Hey, Star, what's up? I didn't have any idea what I was going to do. Since leaving the military, I was in the military for 7 years. And leaving the military, I jumped straight into loss prevention. So I was doing loss prevention or asset protection for a long time, basically ever since I got out the military. So that's all that I ever done. So it was very confusing to me, like, okay, I'm 40 years old. Hey, Olive, like, what are my next steps? What am I going to do? How am I going to get paid? Like, those were the things that we panic about because I wasn't in the same mindset that I'm in right now. So that's pretty much, what I really want to talk about today is just mindset. We are right now in 2020. We are in the year of a career pivot. And when I say career pivot, everything that's going on in this time is really causing people to pivot. They're finding themselves in situations that they weren't expecting. Some people are getting furloughed, some people are getting laid off, and they're having to, I know someone who is actually still working, but they had to take a pay cut in order to keep their job. And the reason why I say, that it's a career pivot because other people are having to figure out ways to how to build a stream of income. With it being a career pivot, it is also truly belief in my heart, the year of the entrepreneur. And the reason why I say that is because situations like this, you have to create new and innovative ways and think outside of the box. You have to look at things at a different aspect in order to be able to be successful. I have been taught from a little girl that the only thing that you need to do is to get a good job that pays you well in order for you to be successful. But the part that they leave out is there's a ceiling on how much you can earn. When you go out in the world and search for a job and you do the interview and everything is great, At the end of the job interview, you go home, you're on pins and needles for a few days. You get a phone call whether you got the job or not. When you do get the job, they give you a job offer. In this job offer, they are offering you amount of money. This amount of money, they're not looking at you as a person. They're not looking at you with the bills you have to pay. They're not looking at your family situation and what's going on. It's just a set amount of money that you are going to make. So then from that point, you have a choice to make. You have a choice that either you're going to take the job offer or you're going to chance it and risk it to try to find something better. Now, most of us, or I will say us, as in you still think, we're not going to take the risk or the chance to mess it up, so we're going to accept the job offer. But in paparazzi, you don't have to accept the job offer because there's no ceilings in how much money that you can make at all. You can make as much as you want as long as you work for it. And that's what I love about this business. And that is the part of me that I had to change. I had to shift my mindset from paycheck to purpose. And when I say paycheck to purpose, money is great. It's always going to be there as long as there's an opportunity. Purpose is a higher calling, something greater than yourself. Something that when you wake up in the morning, it moves you to move. It puts you in the mindset of where you need to be. It is your why. When I first came to this business, my why was to be able to provide money for my family because I didn't have to. Why are you going to slap me? Because I didn't have to. I didn't have the money. But now that I'm here and I see what the opportunity is, my purpose is to be able to pay off my debt, to be able to purchase my dream home. That is something that has been on my vision board for years. And something always happens to knock me down, to put me out, in order for me not to make that goal happen. But being in this business, I'm closer to it than I ever have been before. And that is the reason why I push and do this business and work as much as I can and as hard as I can and try to put my 150% into it because it means something to me and I can see the end game. I can see the vision. The mind shift change is definitely something that is something that has to happen because, of course, when you work for yourself, the greatest thing is working for yourself. Hey, Shanira. Hey, Nicole. Hey, everybody. The greatest thing is working for yourself. But sometimes the hardest thing is working for yourself. Because when you do work for yourself, you have an opportunity to decide when you do things. When there's some days when you wake up and you might not feel like doing anything. But that's where moving your mindset, hey Ebony, hey April, that's where moving your mindset from paycheck to purpose comes into play, because on the days that you don't feel like doing anything, the days that you don't want to get up, it's your purpose that moves you. Because you're not focusing on who you are today, you're focusing on where you're going. I'm not sitting in the fact that if I didn't sit in the fact to where I didn't have a job, there was no way for me to pay my bills. I joined this business because I wholeheartedly believed that there was a future in where I was going. I wasn't focusing on where I was. I was focusing on where I was going in the future. Because that is where the vision is. Your vision wakes you up in the morning, where you see yourself. If you envision yourself as a millionaire, then you can be that. As long as you put your goals down and you create an action plan in order to get those goals done, you can see it. You have to be able to have that. So ask yourself right now, like in the situation that you're in right now, whether it's a regular 9-to-5 job, whether you have a business that is paparazzi, whether you have a business that is something else, are you actually putting your actions, your words to action? When you are writing down your goals and your plan, are you creating an execution plan, an action plan in order to move your feet? Because like Star always says, the opposite of procrastination is do it now. And you have to do it now. You can't wait. Another mindset shift that I had to really think about and I really had to change was the sense of security. And the reason why I say the sense of security is because in that job that I was in, I thought that it was something that was safe and secure. I thought it was something that was always going to be there. But then I was quickly waking up to realize that it's not safe. And that's how and once I crossed over, because there is a crossover, there's a mind shift, there's a crossover, there's a change, there's a switch. Once that switch happened, I realized to stop looking for safe and secure and start looking for opportunity. Because everything ain't safe. And as an entrepreneur, we understand that. We understand that being in this business and any business that you do and being an entrepreneur, there are highs and lows. Life is always going to happen and it's going to knock you down. But it doesn't matter what it does when it knocks you down. The only thing that matters is what you're going to do when you get up. When you get up, you have to dust it off and be like, okay, that didn't work. All right, so what we going to try next? Write it down. We're going to put that into action. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, we're going to do this next. You have to keep going. You got to keep going because if you stop, you're going to miss your moment. Your moment is right around the corner. Like it's literally right around the corner. It's just waiting for you to catch up. It's waiting for you to catch up. And when I say stop seeking security, is because, like I said before when I first started, in case you missed it, like I said, people are getting furloughed. People are getting laid off. People are on unemployment and have been, and they're not getting paid. You don't want to be in that situation. You don't. I'm not saying that if you start this business or if you start another business, at first you probably won't quit your job. You'll probably still have a 9-to-5. But what I'm saying is, in 2020 and beyond, owning your own business and having a second stream of income is necessary. It's no longer an option. It's necessary. Because with this pandemic, you don't know what's going to happen. Everything could be good today. We could be at phase 3 and everything is open. And then the next thing you know, stuff is shutting down and we're going to be at phase 1 again. I pray that it doesn't happen, but it's a possibility. So you need to get ready for the possibilities. You need to position yourself in a place, in a space where you'll be okay. Like I said, things in life happen. Of course, when you're married, you're a married couple, and things happen. My husband retired. Y'all all know that. But when you retire and the process of retirement is not where you thought that it was going to be, you have to be ready. And I'm telling y'all, If I didn't have this business, I wouldn't be positioned to be able to do the things that I'm doing for my family right now. We are in the middle of a transition, the transition to where he has to find another job. And right now, I'm in the position because I made a decision a long time ago when I didn't have nothing to be able to work this business. Another mindset shift that I had to, really think about is moving my mindset to perfection, from perfection to progress. And when I say perfection to progress, it's because most of the time when people start businesses like this, or when you start businesses at all, there are two different buckets that you can put yourself in, or two different buckets that are going to happen. Either you're going to move with action, or, sorry, there's no other way to say it, you're going to listen to the shit that you tell yourself. And the reason why I say that is because when I first started this business, going live is not something that I thought that I would ever do. It's not something that I ever thought that I would be comfortable doing. But when I realized, just watching my upline, watching everybody else around me, and how much money that they were making, and the lives that they were changing by going live, I had to get it together. I had to realize that there was no way that I could be perfect, because the shit that you tell yourself is, I can't do this because I'm not like her. I can't do this because I don't like my face. I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't have enough jewelry. I don't have this. I don't have this. Stop. Just stop. Because right now, nothing that I said is a reason. It's an excuse. It's an excuse not to get yourself together, get your plan together, execute your plan, and move forward. Because you have to be able to move forward. You have to be able to decide what it is that you want to do. No excuses, no exceptions. Put your plan together. Get your jewelry together. You need one bust, a large size, one bust, a medium size. Get it together and go live and sell your jewelry, or sell your eyelashes, or whatever it is that you want to do with your life. You have to be able to get it together. Like, you definitely cannot listen to the things that you tell yourself. You can't listen to outside influences. You got to move for your why. My why is so much stronger than any obstacle, anything that somebody wants to tell me, anything that someone says that I didn't tell them, all of that. Exactly. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. You really have to, my mind right now is on the future. Like I said, I don't focus on who I am now. I focus on who I'm going to be. And hey, Danae, thank you, Olive. And I'm telling you, when I say that I'm going to be a millionaire, it's written. And I'm going to do whatever it takes in order for that to happen. And in this business, and in any business or anything that you do, there's going to be sacrifice. There's going to be sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice sleep. You may sacrifice the time for your family. With your family, you may sacrifice it. But in the end, you're going to get all of that back when you get to where you're going. When it's your moment, you're going to get all of those blessings back. But just think, when you're in a regular 9 to 5, you have to sacrifice things. You have to sacrifice things and you didn't want to. I'm telling you, when I was working at Walmart, I actually was salary. For salary, we would get paid for 10 hours. I remember days I would be in that store for 15 hours. So 5 extra hours of my time that I lost with my kids, lost with whoever. I wasn't getting paid for that. And I wasn't going to get that time back. Because I was putting in time for somebody else's dreams, not my own. So it's different when you're in business for yourself. You sacrifice now, exactly, Olive. You sacrifice now to reward later. And it's going to pay off. I want to be able to, when my daughter was of age to drive, I wasn't able to buy her a car because I wasn't in the position to. But my 15-year-old son is going to be different. She might be jealous. She'll be all right. But my 15-year-old son is going to be different. I'm going to be able to get him a car. Because I'm getting myself together now. I'm getting to a point where I can save money. How many of you on this live are at a point where you can actually save money and you can actually pay off debt? I'll wait. I'm able to do that now. Y'all, listen, I got student loans that was murdering me my whole life. Paying for a school that I didn't even get to finish. How about that? Because they shut the school down and I still got to pay. How about that? But it don't matter. It don't matter because that debt is going to be out of here. It's going to be out of here because I'm going to work my business and I'm going to make it do what it do. So, that is about me. That is about this business. I have an amazing team that I'm on, Star Quality. And I have an amazing group of individuals in my circle that really, really push me. Hey, Gary, what's up, boo? That really push me to be able to have more confidence, to be able to really just come out here and speak my truth. And just to tell you exactly what this business is all about. And to let you know that if this is something that you want to do, I'm not just going to get the bag and throw it in my trunk and run away with it. I'm really going to be able to get the bag, put you beside me in the car, and we can run away together. That's the dream that I have. That's the dream that I wish for all my friends and family, everybody connected to me, everybody that I know. And the thing is, this business can actually put you in position to be able to afford other passions, other dreams. Because I'm not going to say that I had a wild fascination with selling jewelry. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I had a wild fascination with money and being able to support my family. That's what I had. I'm going to tell you that there are people that own Chick-fil-A's. But that don't mean that they have a wild fascination. Hey, Tashawn, that don't mean that they have a wild fascination with eating chicken. They just saw the opportunity in Chick-fil-A. They go, hey, Natalie, they go to Chick-fil-A and see the line backed up all the way around the corner and be like, dang, I think I need to own me one of them. Same thing. Same thing. So, in this business, there are 3 ways that we make money. The first way that we make money is through direct sales. Direct sales, we buy jewelry for $2.75 plus tax, unless you're in Delaware. and we sell the jewelry for $5. 45% profit. I mean, do y'all see these? I bought these earrings for $2.75. $2.75, y'all. The second way that we make money is Paparazzi gives us an absolutely free website. With this website, you can share your link with your family and friends. They can go on there and shop. Paparazzi packs it and ships it and send it to them. And you don't do anything but make the 45% profit in your commission check on the 20th. The third way that we make money is through team building. With team building, there are bonuses for you bringing people on your team. And things of that nature. So you get paid, you get like a 10% for your first line people that you bring onto the team. But y'all, this is an absolutely amazing opportunity. And I really want you to really sit, and even if you have to rewatch this live or go talk to some people, whatever it is that you have to do, just really think about the opportunity and being able, even if you have a small goal or a big goal, if your immediate goal is to just pay off credit card debt, it's worth it. You can do this. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, I went into a Walmart not too long ago, and this lady comes up to me, and this was back when my hair was blue. So she comes up to me, and she says, "Oh my gosh, your hair is beautiful. You are so cute. I'm glad somebody is still keeping themselves up in the middle of this pandemic because I don't do anything with myself." And I'm looking at her like, what? I'm like, okay. So I gifted her a bracelet, and it had my business card in it. And she was like, "Oh, okay. That's why you're so cute." And I just started laughing. Well, let me tell you, she found me on Facebook, and that next day she was on my live ordering jewelry. I gifted something. Then right after that, y'all saw when I posted it, I went to the hair store, and I have magnets on my car that says I'm a paparazzi consultant. I sell $5 nickel and lead free jewelry. I walked out of the hair store. She seen me coming. She didn't know what car I was getting into, but she immediately said to me, "I'm waiting for you." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "You're the paparazzi consultant, right?" I said, "How'd you know that?" She said, "I can just look at you and tell." And she made a $30 purchase right there in the parking lot in the hair store where I was at. If you're wondering where you can make money at, you can make money anywhere you walk into. You can make money into the bank, in a doctor's office. You can make money at your kid's school, at PTA meetings, wherever there is to walk and live and breathe, you can make money. All you got to do is just open your mouth. That's it. You just got to open your mouth and talk to the people and let them know what you're going to do, what you need to do. That's it. That's all you have to do. Is there anybody on here that is interested, that has any questions that they would like to ask? Any questions? But I do have a guest that would like to come in and speak. And I got to put my headphones in. If I can get her on. And she's not in here, so I can't add her. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Hey, hey.
Beautiful.
Hi.
Hi. Can I tell you how inspiring you are? Oh my God. If I wasn't already in paparazzi, I'd be calling you now.
Oh, thank you.
No,
Thank you.
real talk. I sat here listening to you and I've been overwhelmed just listening to you. You said a lot of things that just touched my heart. And what I really liked about it is that it was just so genuine. And don't cry because then we both gonna be crying.
Oh,
It's a hot mess.
no.
But it's
But
so
happy birthday, first of all. Happy
thank you.
birthday.
No, it's just from your heart, and it's just so heartfelt and genuine that it touches people. But I will say this much: you said a couple of things, and two things resonated with me. The first thing was, "Look at us, man! Look at us." The
I
first
know.
from passion, from paycheck to purpose. You don't know how that moved my entire soul. Never thought about it like that. We show
Mhm.
up every day at our jobs, and we go through the motions. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we don't even like what we do. We do what we
Exactly.
have to do to make things work. But when you said that, I was like, oh my God, from paycheck to purpose. Once you have a purpose and you realize it, it makes
Hmm.
such a difference. And
Yep.
I went out to lunch today with my husband, and we were talking about various things. And one of the things we've been talking about for a while is moving.
Hmm.
And we want to leave New York and do what we got to do. And just listening to you right then and then, I was like, oh my God, I have a new purpose.
Hmm.
Okay. I have a new purpose so that as I work this business, I am going to be working towards putting money away so that we can buy our next home in another
Yep.
state. And that's going to be what fuels me and what drives me. And
Hmm.
I really, I just can't explain how it just really just radiated in my soul when you said that.
Hmm.
And that's the other thing about this business is that had I not joined Paparazzi 2 years ago, I never would have met you. And I'm so
No.
blessed to have met you. And we have vibed together. You support me in everything that I do. And something as simple as this, a couple of words with someone you know, and even some people who may be on this live who don't know you,
Right.
it makes a difference. And my God, we're going to talk later after this, but from paycheck to purpose, guys, really,
Yeah.
we stop and think about that. I need the t-shirt that goes along with that, first of all.
Listen, I, it just like came to me because the thing is, people have to realize that there's a passion that comes with that.
Right.
And your passion is what moves you. Like, are you doing things just going through the motions to get, like you said, do what you have to do in order to get the bag? But are you passionate about it? Do you like it? Like, is this what you want to do? And I realized that this jewelry, and I've always been a jewelry lover,
Uh-huh.
but I love jewelry even more now that I can make money from it. Like,
Girl,
you know, and the jewelry's dope. The jewelry is popping. Like $2.75.
I'm blinged out.
Convert it to $5. Like, that's
No,
crazy.
I just have to say I'm very proud of you. I know that
Thank you.
we all have our challenges, we all have our struggles, but I see you grind every day. And you grind at your 9 to 5, and then you turn around and you grind at this job. So that this is what you're doing. You started where this was your 9 to 5, this is where your paparazzi is. And what
Hmm.
you're closing that gap
Yes.
every, and at some point you're gonna be here, and then this is what it's gonna do.
Yes.
And then this one, your 9 to 5, is going to be gone. And this is where
Yes.
you're going to be. And you're going to continue to grow and continue to grind.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you.
I cannot wait to see where you go. I can't wait to see where we all go. Okay.
Right.
Millionaires in the making. Almost.
Yes. Yes. Millionaires in the making. You don't
But I
even know, like, this
want to
space.
say this to the people who are watching for you. You are
Yeah.
a dope leader. You are an amazing leader. You care about your team. You are passionate about training. You are passionate about making sure people have what they need. So when you join Jackie's team, you get an amazing leader who's going to be there to help you. But keep in mind that you got to do this, guys. Jackie can't do it for you. She's going to be there with you. She's going to walk with you. She's going to talk with you. She's going to help you navigate the process. She's going to mentor you. But you got to do the work because
Right.
nobody gets to be a millionaire. Nobody gets to be at the top of the food chain or the ring without doing the work that's involved.
Right.
So I implore you, amazing leader. And in addition to Jackie, you get access to a phenomenal
Yes.
upline women and men who have a wealth of knowledge that
Yes.
can help you grow. And I'm not just talking about growing financially.
Mhm.
People count the mental growth, the personal growth that comes with this business. You
Yes.
will grow up. This business is going to make you grow up. Okay?
All the way.
All the way
All
up.
the
You
way.
want to or not. If you're going to work it, if you're going to do this and you're going to be committed, you're going to grow up. Period.
Exactly.
Okay. There ain't
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that.
And just being connected because you'll also be connected to our amazing leader, Shalon Starberry. And I'm gonna tell you, me and Shalon have had some conversations that have gotten me all the way together. You hear me? She
Hmm.
has a way of just putting it to bringing it real and just saying what it is and making you realize, hey, listen, if you want this is what you gotta do.
And that's what you need in your life. You need people
Exactly.
who are not going to sugarcoat it for you, who are not going
That
to
part.
nice pat on the head and say, good job. They will acknowledge you when your successes, okay?
Mhm.
Their foot in your behind and your back and say, listen, what you gonna do? Okay? You
Mhm.
what you gonna do? I don't want to hear the sorry excuses. Okay? Because we all good at making excuses. We all
Yep.
good at excuses, okay? But when you want
Mhm.
something, you know, having someone in your corner, a group of people in your corner who say, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but what you gonna do?
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
What,
That's the part right there. That's it. And there are some people that can take it, and then there are some people who can't. And then the ones who can't, then they just be where they are, and it is what it is, and we just keep it on push because we have to. We don't have time to sit there and wait
with
like for you
business,
to get there.
yeah, with business, people need to, and I get it. When you have not run a business before,
Mhm.
it's a process that you have to go through. But you
Yep.
really got to be open to feedback about it. But business, you have to remove the personal from business. And I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up. Can't
Yes.
be in your feelings, okay? You got to be detached from it so that you can move forward. There are going to be so many things that do not go right or go the way that you think that they should have been going. And then we get emotionally attached to it. And then we want to stop and we want to feel a certain way. And I know we're human and that's okay. However,
Mhm.
understanding that if you fail at something, it's okay
Definitely.
because failure is the lesson. As long as you step back and say, okay, what did I learn here? What went well? What did not go well? What do I need to change? Should I do this again? Maybe I just need to do it again, or maybe I don't do it at all. But the
Mhm.
evaluation process and understanding if it's a failure, it's okay. Okay,
Yeah, because what people have to realize is you can't be successful unless you fail.
absolutely.
If you're not brave enough to take the risk, there will never be any success because you will never move. You will
Right.
continue to be where you are. And the only way that you can be able to grow is to take the risk, take the lift, take the leap. You got to have faith. It's going to be all right. As long as you have to put people around you and in your circle that speak life into you every single day.
Yeah, I saw Shalon just wrote fail up, fall forward. I
Yes,
love
yes, yes,
every failure is a movement up. Okay,
exactly.
can't sit in the corner and lick your wounds all day long.
Nope.
You're human. It's okay to feel something for a minute, but that minute
Mhm.
can turn into a day, and then turn into 2 days, and then turn into a week. Uh, Once you fall off, it's like you got to start all over again from scratch.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
But the other
Gotta stop stopping.
Yeah, but and then the other thing I don't think that we understand as business owners that we grow into learning is that we celebrate the successes no matter how small. We're always looking for the
Exactly.
big success, okay? And that's coming
Mhm.
with time. But if we don't learn to celebrate those little successes, whatever it may
Yep.
be. So you know what? Today I went out and I sold $10 worth of jewelry. That's a success, okay?
Absolutely.
Success. Days
Absolutely.
that I sell $1,000 worth of jewelry, that's a bigger success. Okay. Or
Absolutely.
today I may have spoken to 3 people about, you know, this opportunity. That's a success. A bigger
Mhm.
success is when one of them joins. But
Yep.
celebrate the successes so that you get used to being successful. Okay. And you're not
Right.
focused on failure.
Right. And I mean, just like for me, hell, this live is a success. Like, because, listen, I have honestly, seriously had these words in here
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. But I'm going to tell you what, when the selfie September is doing something to me, let me tell you. Because when I wrote today, I will speak up for myself. I don't know. Something just flipped. It just brought me into action. And here I am. That's all it was. It was just a manifestation, and I was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna do it today, and I did it.
So proud.
So
I'm so proud of you. And that's
thank
and
you.
that's what it is. It's courage. It's being courageous.
Right.
Um, and I think that that's what it comes down to a lot. Just having the courage to just go ahead and try doing something,
Hmm.
doing just showing people who you are. And
Yes.
I'm so proud of who you are. You are a beautiful person. You're inside and out.
Oh, thank you.
And we're
You are
gonna
beautiful too, in
manifest.
that hair too. That hair.
Girl. We short with the colorful.
Listen, right? Pop it.
And that's another thing. It's like with this business, this opportunity changes you in so many ways. Prior to me being a paparazzi, I might have put a little red in my hair, but all of this,
No,
okay,
no.
it's made me
Mm-mm.
grow in so many ways.
No, with the blue hair, never. Absolutely never, never, never. But yeah, so it's just bringing you out, and
Yeah,
it makes you more. It makes you transform and morph into
bring
something, because it's
it on.
exactly. It's not just $5 jewelry. It's so much more. It's personal growth. It's building relationships. It's
Yes,
connecting.
yes.
Um, I'm connected to you. I would have never met Candace or Amber or anybody that I come in contact with on a day-to-day basis.
Uh huh.
In it, you do help, Shalon, and I would have never met Star if it wasn't for this opportunity. Like, really, because to be honest, um, I used to see Shalon be in my store some days.
Uh huh.
And I never got a chance to talk to her because I was always helping a customer.
Uh huh.
But when I seen her, I was just like, she's so fly. Like, I really said that. Like, I never
Yeah.
told Star that story. I never told Star that story till now. So if she's still watching, she just found out just now. So
Yeah.
anyway, I used to say that about her. But then, once meeting her and being, connected to her and just running with her, like, yo, she really does motivate. Like, she got that down pat. Like, she knows how to motivate. She can always find the right combination of words. I don't know. Yes. She
Something special.
definitely can. So,
And she is something special, and I really
mhm.
would love everybody to get the opportunity to meet her.
Yes.
Um, she is such a coach, such a mentor.
Hmm.
I see the woman who tells me her story about how she was a train operator, how she was able to use paparazzi while working that full time job with the New York City transit system She
Mm-hmm.
worked her paparazzi job to the point where she was able to retire from her
Right.
job as a train operator and become a full-time entrepreneur. She
Mm-hmm.
is six-figure bling boss, twice in the making. Okay,
Yes.
I see where she's going. I see where that rocket ship is going. I see whether she sees it or not. I see her vision, well, my vision of her, I should say. I see her as my Oprah. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to give so much back to the community. Okay, I
Yep.
see her out there with her coaching, and mentoring and excellence on a high.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and it inspires
Absolutely.
because I've always loved coaching. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that years ago I went ahead and I became a certified life coach,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I see her doing without even trying. So
Right.
I know that that's something that's in me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
paparazzi is bringing that back out in me. Okay,
Yes.
I give you guys my oh wow morning quotations and things like that. That's that coach in me coming out.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
when you have someone who you can work with and talk to, who mentors and who guides and who holds you accountable for doing the things that you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
it pushes you to do more. So yes,
Absolutely.
you join the business, you start selling some jewelry, okay? But you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
a lot more out of the jewelry. You're gonna get that money that you're looking for, as long as you work it. But you're gonna get so much more that's gonna propel you to so many greater heights. So I'm
Absolutely.
blessed. I'm thankful for all of this.
Absolutely.
So, but thank you for letting me pop in. I
All
appreciate
right, boo. So happy to see you.
it. All right, guys.
All
So,
right.
Joy
All
Jackie,
right.
he's the bomb that conga. And, you have to hang out with all of us in our craziness, too. So,
Right. All right. Talk to you later, boo.
okay. Bye bye. Wait, how you get out of this thing?
I don't know. Do I have to do something?
I don't know. All
Oh,
right.
okay. Wait. I'm gonna get like. Does this work? No, you're still there.
All right.
Hold on.
I'll just sit here.
I think you just get off. I don't know.
All right. I'll just close it out.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
It won't go nowhere.
We can't even get off. That's
All right. So
crazy.
obviously, we are technically challenged, but Joy Jackie, Steve, and
Right.
and if you have any
We
questions,
can't even get off. Hold up, because I got one more person. So that's why I'm like, how we
maybe
get
you should
off of here?
ask them
Hold on.
to join. Yeah, you
T-
stop laughing
t-
at
t-
us.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I can't even get off. That's crazy. Like, it won't let me do anything.
whoever's supposed to join you, just have them send you the request.
Yeah, send me a request to Sean.
Because I keep touching all kinds of stuff. Ain't nothing happening.
Listen, we terrible. We on here talking all of this and we
But
can't
I
even
can
get
sell some
off. We
jewelry.
can't even get off alive.
But I can sell some jewelry.
Like I don't even know. Okay. So Sean, did you send me a request? I don't know. I wonder if you close Facebook, will it
I'm,
let
I'm,
you
I'm
get
just
a...
close everything all together. So I love
All
you.
right. I
Bye.
love you too. Bye. Maybe bye. Y'all, this is terrible. She's still on there. She's just frozen now. That's great. Go on the bottom on the right hand side. You should see, well, it should say, hold on, let me see if I can find you where you came in. Oh, okay, here we go. When, but it's saying that Olive is still on here. Okay, there she goes. Or maybe she didn't want to come in.
I'm not ready. I just needed to save Olive. I didn't want to come on the camera, but
Oh,
I
okay.
had to save Olive. I had to. I'm over here laughing so hard. And can Deshaun get on?
Yeah, I'm about to try to get on now.
I literally had to save Olive. It was too long of a
All right.
I'm invoicing, but if This is not a bad, I don't have my background. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy birthday, Olive. But that was funny. And Shalon Strawberry, I am who they keep referencing to. And then she said, thank you. I do not, y'all know I can talk. I don't want to dominate this. I love y'all so much. I am so proud. I am so happy. I've been cutting up in the inbox group. Can Sean get on?
Yeah, did she send me Tashawn, did you send me a request?
She said, how do you do it? But I want her, it's the little, Tashawn, it's a green person and whatever that is.
Yeah.
That is so funny. I see the button. It said join.
Okay, I got her. I can see it now. All right, bye. Okay, Tashawn. There we go. Y'all, we having fun on this live. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hashtag join my team. A whole situation. Like a whole situation. What's up, Tashawn?
I'm like, how do I follow up with that?
Right.
Y'all asking me to join. I'm like, how I do that?
Right.
Oh my gosh. So, listen, I was over here cracking up laughing at the two of you. Olive is absolutely amazing. And you kind of like brought back some memories for me as to I know why I joined. Your why does change. I joined this business to just to have some extra money to be able to take care of things that I didn't have the funds for. And everybody's story is different. So when I got here, I was already a business owner, but I wasn't a business owner in something that I loved. I had gotten so used to um, being on mom mode. You have priorities and things that you have to handle, that every move that I made, even job wise, it's like now that I think back at it, the positions that I chose and even what I went to school for wasn't for something that I necessarily loved. It was so that I could be able to make more money in order to provide for the kids.
Right.
So it wasn't, I love jewelry. Wasn't too into taking pictures or doing videos, so live and all of that just happened when I got here. But I got into the business just to make extra money, and then it just turned into so many other different things, like meeting you, because
Right.
we see each other on in the group page, and you're like, oh, she cute.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, so it's a little bit of a apprehension there with reaching out to people, and I said, let me just try it. Let me just hit her up and see what she say. And you like, oh, you was just so nice and everything. Everybody, I got that reaction for, because our goal, what we're here for, is we have something that's in common. We're all here to grow. We're all here to make money. We're all here to provide a better lifestyle for our family. Some of us didn't. It took us to get here to realize that we needed something that we didn't have. For me, I lacked confidence. Hence why I never was on a camera before, or like doing a live video, or I rarely ever took pictures of myself. And now you can't get me off the camera. So everybody's
Right.
I'm like, what you said, what? I'm like, what?
I know, right?
Embrace it. Like you can't make me off the camera. I make my kids sick with the stuff that comes in. But I actually found something that I love, absolutely love. It's to the point where everywhere I go, I have jewelry, I have my cards on with me. And this business affords me the opportunity to put down my first business, which I did, like I got into that for the money.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID happened, and a lot of contracts that I had closed down. So that means that, money stopped flowing the way that it was flowing before. And if I didn't have this business, I wouldn't have anything to fall back on. It has opened up so many other doors and so many different options for me, even just down to something simple. I was sick for a couple of days. And I mean, like I was down, like I couldn't get out the bed. I don't know any job that I had that wouldn't have an issue with that. I've suffered from migraines like pretty much all of my adult life.
Hmm.
And a lot of it is attributed to stress. I'm managing that. So I haven't had an episode like that in a while, but I don't know a job that would be like, okay, well, you got a migraine, you can call out without doing like FMLA or something like that, taking, no pay or something like that. My son is special
Exactly.
needs. Um, and he's actually a lot better than what he was before, but he's actually medically diagnosed for having extreme anxiety.
Hmm.
So anybody who deals with anxiety, which I know that Star does, um, for a child, it's a little bit different. And it's hard dealing with that. So there are points and times where I have to I have to drop everything and run up to the school just to make sure that he's okay and that he can because he can't get off of whatever it is that's bothering him. He can't move from that. So learning everything stops for the whole entire day. Um, I wouldn't have been able to do that with a 9 to 5. And this platform has allowed me to be able to speak to other people who are going through or who have experienced the same things that I'm experiencing. Like before, I felt like I was living my life by myself. Like I have a
Hmm.
sister, we're close and everything, but we've actually grew a tighter bond in this business
Right.
because we have something directly in common that we both love and that we're both going after, and we're not in competition with each other. We're not in
Exactly.
competition with, if anything, I'm on her line like, what you got? And she's on my line like, what you got? And we work it out, whatever. But we're not fighting with each other like, oh, you got more money or you stole my. It's not that. We
I like
literally
that.
brainstorm with each other. If I need to give her a little jerk or she got to give me a little jerk, like, get out your feelings or whatever. Um, we have that connection now, which we did not have before. And you're right, Star. I never actually told anybody about my son because we're sensitive about our kids. And I used to do that suffer in silence a lot thing or whatever
Hmm.
because you don't want, and it's not really a suffer in silence. You don't want anybody's pity. I never
Correct.
want pity. I want
Yeah.
to understand that yeah, there is a struggle, but I'm moving. I'm still working. I haven't stopped. Like I said, I was down. And even though I haven't had an episode like that in quite some time, I was able to take that time and then get back up today and be like, okay, you know what? I really got tired of the bed, but but I was able to get up back up and say, you going live today. Um, I wouldn't have been able to do that before. And
Hmm.
I absolutely, the money is great. The team is excellent because I've been in other businesses before and I've never, and I mean never, experienced people who genuinely have an interest in your growth.
Yeah,
I have people.
there you said that one there. You said something there, and I don't mean to cut you off, but that
That's
resonated
okay.
with me because at any job, it's like cutthroat. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're always against someone. But here, we can lock arms. We're on the same team star quality, but we don't have the same sponsor. But that doesn't mean that we can't collaborate, we can't talk, we can't share ideas with each other because we're all here for the same thing.
Exactly.
And
And just
that's what I
us.
love about this business. That's what I love about it.
And just us, we can call each other. I message you, you message me, and we could talk about
Hmm.
different ideas and stuff like that. And you are not directly connected to me in a way where, as in, whatever I do affects your pockets and vice versa. But we
Exactly.
still help each other. It's like, if you get it, if you get to whatever your goal is, it's like, all right, sis. And that's the thing that I love also, celebrating. Like the wins
Hmm.
small, because you go through, um you create goals and you accomplish your goals or you hit your milestones, and nobody's there to give you a little pat on the back. And it's not to say that it's necessary, because you can pat your own self on the back, but when you got a group of people that's shouting you out, putting it all over your page, letting the world know that you are doing things and that you're moving, that feels awesome. Everybody needs somebody to say good job. You know, you can't even get that from a 9 to 5. And like you said, with the 9 to 5, I've been in plenty of positions. Like I said, I did banking for over 10 years. I did telecommunications for over 10 years. I was in customer service like forever. Um, and I always felt like I was fighting somebody. Like I was qualified for the position. My numbers could have been on point, but somebody else may have gotten it because the boss liked them or because they had a better connection. It is not that here. It is not that
Mm-hmm.
here. You know, you grow your own tribe, you build your own customer base based off of you just being you. You
Exactly.
don't have to be
No,
anybody else.
no, no fluff. No BS. 100% you and who you are. That's it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you have everything. And the thing is, what people don't realize when they come in this business, they're already ready. It's
Mm-hmm.
just untapped resources. You're ready. You have everything that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Right it within you. The answer is in you.
But we're so
Manifesting your
used to trying to
destiny.
figure it out.
Exactly.
We're so used to
Exactly.
trying to
It's
figure
right
out all the
there.
steps before you make the step, before you take the step. And
Mm-hmm.
listen, so I don't remember which book it was that I was listening to, but you know, that's another thing, you know, giving you information. I know that one of them was Jump by Steve Harvey. I know I've read Eric Warray and Grant Cardone, but in I can't remember which one it is, but they're like, you know, just commit yourself to it and figure
Mm-hmm.
out the rest later, which kind of reminds me of Star always saying, jump out the window and build just your
Just
plane on the way down.
on the way down.
So
Yeah.
when we went to EMP in Maryland, I had no clue how I was getting there. I bought the ticket. I had no clue how I was getting there. I wasn't sure if I could take the drive myself because physically I'm not able to. I was able to connect with another team member that took that drive down there, but I committed myself. Even Vegas. I have, like I said, I have another business. I mean, granted, we didn't expect for COVID to happen, but I bought the
Mm-hmm.
ticket. I bought the ticket. I invited somebody else to come along with because they was gonna see the whole hype and everything. And then
Mm-hmm.
booked the hotel and everything. I didn't have my ducks in a row. I just
Mm-mm.
I just did it. And the thing is
Yeah.
that everything worked out. Everything worked out the way that it was going to work out anyway. Now, granted,
Mm-hmm.
let's say COVID wasn't here and convention was I was going.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Right.
going regardless of what. I was going.
Yes.
But you know, all of that had to do with me doing my goals and putting up a vision board, which is up here, right? Like Vegas is on my vision board. EMP
Mm-hmm.
is on my vision
A
board.
vision board.
Me
Yep.
hitting the ranks that I was trying to achieve is on my vision board. I have a brand new car, and that's on my vision board. Like we're not
I know
even.
that's right.
I mean, like I can't even say just how amazing it is because your mindset changing. You think that you have, you know, you reach a certain age and you got it all figured out, and then you get to a place like here, and you get broken down to your bare minimums to start all over again. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't doing affirmations. I wasn't speaking things into existence. I told myself that this is all that I want to do, and this is what I love, and everything else is clearing. You know,
Yes.
some people look at, oh, you know, you lost your contracts. That's such a horrible thing. No, I look at it as this was my vision. This is what I
Mm-hmm.
said that I wanted, and everything is clearing for me to be able to do exactly what it is that I want to do.
Exactly. And that's just like, when I have conversations with people and they tell me how lucky I am to be essential and to not be quarantined, they don't even know how upset I am that I wasn't. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I wasn't essential, like, I still work my business and I still work it out because, like they always say, you make time for the things you want. I want this
Mm-hmm.
business. I want to go forward. I make time. But at the same time, if I was quarantined, can you imagine
No,
how much
I
money?
know,
I
because I
can
was
imagine
out
if I
there.
was quarantined the whole time. Girl, I've been in
And
here
you
live
watching people
every
not
single
being
day.
safe and all
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Exactly. Like, and
Listen,
that's the thing. I be wishing to be in the house. Like, definitely wishing.
no,
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Because for me to be in the house, to just be able to play in jury, to connect with my customers. I mean, you know, this business, I could say so much about it, but it opened up a whole new world for me. I talk to people on a daily basis that do not live in the state that I live in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just to like, even like Star does this morning motivation, like, and it like every morning I don't care what is going on, I tune in because I'm like, you know what, a lot of things is things that I was already thinking, a lot of things is confirmation of something that I wanted to do, and other things is like a different perspective or a different take on it. But to
Yep.
get to have somebody else, there's nothing like nothing else like having a conversation about business. We talk
Right.
about so much foolishness that's not going to change anything in our life, that's not going to help our kids, that's not going to put us in a better position, that's not going to do absolutely nothing. Like, I don't care what's happening on TV. Let me catch up on one of these videos that's going on in this group and see what somebody said that I could implement in my business.
Listen, what you saying? I watch Star every morning on the way to my first store, and then I sit in the car for on my first store until she's done. And then
Mm-hmm.
even if I have to miss it, like Thursday I was training. As soon as I got home, I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never miss that. I don't miss, our leaders, Carla, Shanae, all of
Yep.
our leaders when they train. I don't miss that. And in this business and in anything, it has to be. Sometimes there has to be sacrifice. Like I was saying before, just like we have this amazing leadership retreat going on. Like to be honest, honestly, I do work a 9 to 5 job. I don't have any more time left. No more vacation. No none of that. But guess what? Guess who's going? Guess who's
Mm-hmm.
still gonna be in the spot?
Mm-hmm.
Me. I'ma be
I know it.
there.
I know it. I know it. Listen,
I'ma be there.
this business will make room for everything that you can possibly dream of that you want. And it's
Yep.
not like it's one of those things that it's easy. And what I mean by easy is that there's work. It's
Absolutely.
easy in the fact that there's clear steps that is set out for you to follow, proven that works, but you just have to work it. So, setting your schedule and becoming or readjusting your life, moving some things out of the way. Maybe that may not be easy for you, or easy for me, but the results at the end is worth it. Like
Hmm.
everything that I went through, and I don't really think I went through anything, but the end result for me to get a car, my kids were talking to me like when we moved. First of all, anybody told them that we was moving, right? In my mind, we know that we moving. I mean, on my vision board, there's a house up there with a floor plan, right? But
Yeah.
nobody told them that we was moving, right? And these are the little ones. When we move, you're gonna make sure I'm gonna get my own room and I'm gonna have this in my room. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we're working on right now. The thing is that they can see it.
Yes.
They can see it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's just amazing. It's one of those things that, listen, if you have been thinking about this business, or maybe you wanted to be in a business, but you just wasn't sure what it is that you wanted to start with. It may be something else that you want to do in life, but you don't have the funds for it. This business will fund every dream that you have. And so, if you're interested in it, Jackie is awesome. Jackie is awesome. She is phenomenal. And because you join her team, you have access to all of these wonderful leaders that we have that continuously daily pour into you, and training groups that we have to get you all the way together. So
Hmm.
if it's something that you were interested in, you're not sure, listen, you don't have to have it all figured out. You should not actually have it all figured out, because you're gonna think that you have it together, and when you get here, we're gonna have to tear that
Exactly.
tear that down.
Listen, we're gonna have to get you all the way together. No boo.
This is
We
a
not
different world.
doing that. Let's do this. And like the
Listen.
main thing is, that the biggest point to drive home is you can do this business if you are willing to be moldable and coachable and listen, because we as leaders tell you things that we have experienced.
Mm-hmm.
If I tried something and I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's bad news, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, listen, you might not want to do that. But I
Mm-hmm.
did this. So do this, and you do it. Everybody wants to try to, like, fight you on it, but that's not what this is about. Like,
But it's okay. It's okay if somebody bumped their head. If they decided to do it their way and they bumped their listen, I bumped my head in the beginning. I came in
mm-hmm,
here and it was so much going on. I had no clue. I said, what in the world? And I said, they said, to do, let's just say for argument's sake, 1 through 10. I'm gonna do 1, 3, 7.
Right.
It took me a
Right.
little short time, because for me, time is money. When I see that it wasn't adding up, it wasn't making no sense, wasn't making no dollars,
Hmm.
I had to go back real quick. It was like, okay, let me go back to 1 and follow it the right way. So it's okay. Sometimes you need that little knock.
You do.
You know how
You
your
do.
parents say a hard head makes us all,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah. Right.
Sometimes you need that little knock in order to come back and be like, if you serious, it's like the thing is that people see us on live, and they see us taking pictures, and they think that it's all fun and games. I mean, it is fun, right? But this is actually a business. This is a
Hmm.
legit business.
So
I have
no.
an LLC. I have a tax ID. I can go and claim this on my taxes separately. So this is an actual business. So you need to treat it as such. And if you've never owned a business, that's perfectly okay. There are a ton of books on audio, audibles, Kindle, or wherever, where you can get some general basic knowledge on how
Hmm.
to run a business.
Exactly.
I mean, this is network marketing. This is a completely different lane, but even still,
Hmm.
just to get some general knowledge on it, this is an actual business. So when you come in here, it does not matter how young or how old you are. You have to be teachable. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm sitting up there at the front of the class, like, teach me.
Hmm. Yeah,
I
girl.
want to
Because
learn.
listen, I'm 42. And I feel like I'm 42 and my real life just started. That's how I feel. I feel like the real life that I've been trying to get to and trying to
Hmm.
find my whole like my passion has
Hmm.
finally caught up and found me. Like I've been
Yes.
searching, I've been looking with binoculars
Hmm.
in the daytime with a flashlight, and I finally found it, and that is truly how I feel. Like truly how I feel. I'm just getting started right now, right
Yeah,
now.
but you know what? It's
So
fine. It's
exactly.
better. It's better to have lived a life, found your purpose, accomplish whatever dreams or goals that you wanted in life, than to live your whole entire life not knowing anything. Like, I can't
Right.
imagine what life would be like if I continued on the path that I was going.
Me
I
too.
thought that what was making me happy was what was making my kids happy. Yes, I
Hmm.
want my kids to be happy, but what about me? Like, I'm moving
Yes.
through life on autopilot like a robot. Like, this is just like, you got kids, you're a mom now. So this is what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm moving through life like I don't matter. And if I took some time for myself, oh my gosh, I would feel so guilty for it.
Hmm.
And now I'm sitting up here thinking about things that I've always wanted to do. You had mentioned the other day about nose piercing, and I said, you know what? By darn it, I'm gonna get me, because this is what I wanted. And I'm thinking, like, you too old. You too listen. We supposed to be living
Uh-uh.
out loud. We supposed to be enjoying life. We supposed to be doing
Exactly.
this. I'm not doing anything that's morally wrong, that's going to shame my kids or anything. That's just not me anyway. But
Hmm.
I'm not doing anything crazy. But to have some fun, to go out, like, there's no shame in me. I so wanted to be in Vegas, but there's no
Me
shame
too.
in me saying I'm going to Vegas, and this first time I'm not taking the kids. Like, I haven't been anywhere forever. I Yes, it was business, but I needed
Hmm.
some me time, and now I'm okay with saying I need some me time, even if me time is just in my jury room.
Me too. And I
I'm about to
feel
put
you
in some
because
oil on the
I was
stove.
going to Vegas with no husband, no kids, no nothing, just me, and that's it. Like, and it's okay because like I said, I have kids. I'm married, so being my husband, I have something that is for me, you know, because
Mhm.
being in a relationship like that, um, being married is joining a team. It's
Mhm.
not being married is not replacing yourself. You don't get to
Yes.
lose yourself by being in a relationship or having kids. It's not fair. You still have you, and so this is, and I didn't see that.
Mhm.
I'm just like you. I did not see that
I'm just
until
now
now.
figuring that out.
Hmm.
I'm
Yes,
just now
ma'am.
figuring that out, that you only get one life.
Yep.
You only get one life. And when I think about when I'm no longer here, what I want my kids to remember about me, what I want them to tell my grandkids and my great grands, that, you know, my mom was awesome. You know,
Mhm.
she decided, she woke up one day, whatever day that was, that she woke up and she decided that she was going to take charge of her own life and she was going to make her dreams come true. And in her making her dreams come true, she provided a better life for us. She put us in a
Absolutely. That's a
situation where
word.
we
Yes.
didn't have to struggle. Like I tell my oldest this all the time because when I had him, I was young and my grandmother raised us, and she passed away while I was still young. And
Mhm.
I had no clue. Like I had no clue how to take care of a child, but at the same time, it was more so that we had nothing. We had nothing. Um, Financial for us to be able to sustain us just for a little bit in order to get on our feet. So I struggled horribly in the beginning, but
Mhm.
she instilled some very strong lessons into us that helped me and motivated me to push on. But I don't want my kids to experience that. One of the biggest things for me was that I never wanted my kids to experience the hardships that I went through, and I
Exactly.
want to be able to provide and leave behind. We talk about legacy a lot in Star Quality, and it is something that is heavily on my mind as far as to what legacy do I want to leave behind outside of something that's going to make my kids financially comfortable. I want them to know the type of woman, the character, the person, the love that I had for them, the sacrifices that I made so that they don't have to suffer the way that I did, the way that my sister did, the way that my grandmother did,
Mhm.
or the way that my mother did.
Yep.
Because
We're
that's a whole
breaking
other thing
breaking
that it took me
generational
to get here.
curses. Yep.
Exactly. It took me to get
Mhm.
here to realize, and I don't know, I think Star was playing a video of Oprah, and it clicked that day that, my mother did the best that she could with what she had, and she had her own demons to face. But it
Yep.
took me here. I'm almost 40 years old, just
Mhm.
now coming to that conclusion, letting that go.
Yep.
So what I need now, what I'm doing now is breaking generational curses. What I need now is generational wealth,
Yes.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
The sky's the
Right.
limit. I could keep adding on to that list.
Yes. And it just with this business and being here as well, it just gives you the opportunity to allow yourself to dream. Because
Yes.
some people are in positions where they think that their dreams and their hopes and aspirations and everything they want for themselves and their children can't come true, but it definitely can. And
Hmm.
the great thing about it is we are living, breathing examples for our children and even the people that our children are connected with to see that you don't need a 9 to 5 per se to be successful. Your success can be your passion. If you
Hmm.
love if you love art and drawing, you can be a painter and be successful.
Yes.
If you like making clothes, you can start a clothing line and be successful. Whatever it is that you want to do in your life, you can align yourself to be able to create that lifestyle for yourself. And it's possible. Like a lot of us don't have the ability to dream, but you can get it back here.
That's true.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true.
Yeah. So it was so great having you join my live.
Yes,
So
yes.
and I hope you share. I think you shared it on your page too, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I shared it when you
Right.
guys was cutting up.
Yes. So for all the people that are here that are connected with Tashawn, join her team. She is an amazing leader. She's very passionate about this business. She loves to teach and be very hands-on with her team. When you join her, you absolutely get an amazing leader, someone who is very open and upfront and transparent with you. So definitely join
Oh.
her team.
All right, Jackie. It has been a pleasure, and I'm gonna
All
hit you
right,
up right
boo. Yes, yes, yes. I'm
Have a
about
good
to
one.
say salutations now. Have a good one. All right, y'all. I love you too. So I appreciate everybody that watched. for hanging out with us tonight. Uh, and so if you are thinking about joining Paparazzi, please, please, please hit me up. Let's schedule a time to talk. If you're here in Maryland, we're on phase 3, so we can meet face to face, and we can talk about everything that has to do with this business, and what we can do to get you started, and to just run. And before, and even if you want to, before you come and see me, if you want to write down a list of goals, we can get a game plan together on how to get to those goals. Like, because that's what we do here. We break generational curses and we make dreams come true. So, as I will be getting off of here right now. Oh, thank you. It was fabulous. All right. So, and you know what I always say, you guys enjoy your evening and stay sassy.